Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I have a new module for you. This has been highly requested. Everybody wants to know about blogging. Blogging is such an integral part of running a spiritual business. It's actually the integral part of running any type of business and actually having an online presence. Um, Going forward, it's really difficult for shops and businesses to make it unless they have an online presence. So, blogs are the foundation for that. We're going to get started in just a few moments. This is probably going to be quite a long module because I'm going to go through the training with you and then I'm actually going to show you me going through the actual process. So if you haven't already done so, go ahead and get comfortable, get yourself some coffee or tea or whatever it is that you like. Find a comfortable position and we are going to get started in just a few seconds. Okay, so today we are covering Introduction to Blogging 101. Blogging is a really amazing tool to passively gain a following online. And the idea is that you're speaking to potential clients in a way that doesn't feel icky or like too salesy. That's the thing I hear the most, especially with heart-centered spiritual business people, is that they want to sell, they want to make money, but they don't want to do like the sleazy used car salesman tactics. And blogging is really going to bridge the gap for a lot of you for that. There's a lot of controversy over whether blogging is really necessary, and we're going to kind of get into that, why you might choose to have a blog, and if you really need one, and all that kind of stuff. Without utilizing blogging, um, most of your sales are going to be through chasing and cold calling people. And that feels really icky to a lot of people who are just kind of starting out, or maybe who aren't feeling like on the spectrum of 100% confident about what they're selling, because that's kind of what it all boils down to, is how confident are you about what it is that you're selling? If you're 100% confident about what it is you're selling, selling is going to be really easy. But if you're just starting out in your business and you don't have a lot of reviews, you don't have a lot of experience to back you up, then blogging is going to be the way to start feeling a lot more confident about yourself as an authority, or as an expert on tarot or Lenormand or whatever else it is that you're selling as a service or a product. Even still, I don't want to mislead you and take you down this path to believe that if you have a blog, then all of your clients are going to magically come to you. That's not exactly how it is, but it does provide a really solid foundation and framework so that you can do less cold calls, so that you can do less chasing, and you can really create valuable content. You can create that value factor through blogging, and it helps build that know, like, and trust factor. And I've talked about this before. It's very important. People want to buy from people that they trust, that they feel have the best interest of them in mind. And it's also a really great way for you to come across as an expert who is really knowledgeable with a wealth of information to share with your clients. What is a blog? A blog is a marketing strategy used to deploy valuable content in a passive way and to build relationships between the service or product suppliers and the people who are interested in that service or product. So basically, at its core foundation, a blog and blog posts is a trust building exercise for the brand. It helps develop a level of trust between the people who are supplying what it is that you're selling and the people who actually want to buy what it is that you're selling. The benefits of having a blog are that it acts as a client lead generation tool. Especially if you utilize strategically placed SEO, and we're actually going to cover a little bit of that. If you've already been through the profit from selling tarot readings on Etsy module, then you're going to be a little bit familiar with tags and keywords, and you'll see a little bit more of their relevancy. Once I actually go through and show you how to do the blog post, you're going to be like, oh, okay, it's going to click. So if you have no idea what SEO is right now, that's okay. You're going to actually learn a lot about it by the end of this module. A blog can reach hundreds or thousands of potential clients simultaneously. So when we're doing cold calls or following up with people and saying, hey, I think you would be a good fit, this is the offer that I have, are you interested in working with me with this? We're talking with usually one person at a time, right? It's a one-on-one type of dialogue. It takes our time and our energy, whereas a blog post can reach hundreds or thousands or even millions of people in a very short amount of time. So it's having a blog allows you to work smarter and not harder, and that's what I'm all about. I'm all about working smarter and not harder. A blog also provides filler content in between your sessions, so clients can feel a level of connection with you between appointments. So it's really important to nurture that relationship that you have with your clients that you already have, that are they're your loyal fans, they're your groupies, that sort of thing. The blog posts allow you to maintain that connection in a very non-sleazy way. Like, it establishes the trust between the service or product supplier and the service or product consumer, which is your seekers, the people that you're selling your readings or services to. Basically, what it says is, hey, I value you. I value your business. I want to reward you for that. Here's something for free, no strings attached. It's yours. So what is actually a blog post? It is a marketing strategy, but what is it actually? A blog is an engaging piece of literature designed to share an experience and or educate. There probably are other types of blog posts out there from the educational and the experiment. That's kind of experience. Sorry, that is kind of like the two main things, and from that point you can kind of put them all into different groups. But either you are sharing an experience, or you're telling a story, or you are educating and informing. And it's really important to know what it is that you're doing, what the goal is, what the intention is with that, and we're going to cover that. So the types of blog posts, the two main types of blog posts are storytelling blog posts, in which you're sharing an experience, you're connecting with someone through your own experiences. And the other type is an educational, you're sharing a process with the intention to educate and to inform. And at the end of each blog post, it is ideal to have a call to action, which encourages a potential client to take an inspired action. This is like your invitation to like your Facebook page, or your invitation to check out your Etsy store, or your invitation to download your welcome kit, that sort of thing. So let's talk about storytelling through blog posts. We're going to discuss the 7 sacred stories. And this is not going to just help you to write blog posts, but it's going to help you to read tarot too. Storytelling is an integral part of successfully reading tarot, because what it is that we do is we lay down these cards and we interpret the story that the cards are telling us, and then we relay that story to the person seeking information. We lay each card out one by one, and we're building an account of the people and the events used to divine that pertinent information regarding that situation that the seeker is in, whatever that they've come to you to read about. Tarot readers are storytellers, and we use a tool that has a visual depiction of basic storytelling tenets that we construct to form a larger story overall. Stories are so immersive. They're an immersive experience that convey recognizable patterns in a symbiotic exchange between the storyteller or the reader or the person who is writing the blog post, and the listener, the seeker, or the person that is reading the blog post. And in these patterns, it's where we find personal meaning and reference. The 7 main plots. So there's this guy who is named Sir Arthur Thomas Quiller Couch, and he was a very brilliant writer and philosopher. And his great work is that he uncovered that there are 7 basic plots in all of storytelling. It's through piecing together in random orders of these 7 different plots while tossing in a few twists and turns that all stories are told. And it could, we could also say that in a tarot card deck, there are 78 different twists and turns to those 7 basic plots. Christopher Booker is also someone that you should really consider looking into and reading his book. He has a book called The 7 Basic Plots, and you might find that really beneficial as supplemental reading, especially if you want to take this a step further and really improve on your readings and really improve on your gift of storytelling. But you don't need to really search these guys out. I'm going to give you that information today, and what I'm going to give you is sufficient enough to figure out, to use as inspiration for constructing your own blogs. The 7 main plots, according to Arthur Quiller Couch, is man against man, man against nature, man against himself, man against God, man against society, man caught in the middle, man and woman. And then according to Christopher Booker, the 7 basic plots are overcoming the monster, rags to riches, the quest, voyage and return, comedy, tragedy, rebirth. So just to give you some examples of how you can apply this, say for example, tragedy might be the death card or the tower card. The voyage and return might be the 6 of Swords. The rags to riches might be the 9 of Pentacles. The man and the woman card might be the 2 of Cups. The man caught in the middle might be the 5 of Wands. Man against society might be the Hierophant. Or man against God might be the Hierophant. Man against society. I'd have to think about that one. But yeah, so you can apply the 78 tarot cards to a lot of these, and you can start forming your own, like your own associations with them that goes beyond just the blog post themselves. But for the purpose of this module, we're just going to focus on using these as blog post inspirations. So Sir Arthur Thomas Quiller Couch was a product of his times, and although his model is a bit outdated, because you see it's like man against this, man against this, using both models simultaneously can allow for even greater inspiration. And we're now going to discuss these 7 basic plots. Here's an interesting side note. The 21 major arcana, the Fool as 0, not included in this, the Fool as in the avatar that goes through the 21 doors of or experiences or stories of the 21 major arcana, can be divided by 3 into 7 neat sections, with these 7 basic plots overlaid onto each. So for example, overcoming the monster might be Magician, High Priestess, Empress. Rags to riches, Emperor, Hierophant, Lovers, so on and so forth. The quest, Chariot, Strength, and Hermit. The voyage and return, the Wheel of Fortune, Justice, Hangman. I'm not saying that this is entirely accurate. What I'm saying is that you can use this model to come to your own conclusions about how you feel about certain cards. Maybe you don't arrange it in this specific order, but it's a really great exercise to try and to, gain some deeper insight about the cards. So the first basic plot is called Overcoming the Monster, and this is the hero and the villain. Whether the monster dwells within or outside of the self, the hero is called to protect the world from a great evil at impossible odds. Some of the Examples that I've given is King Arthur and Mordred, David and Goliath, Star Wars and the Sith, which is probably like, the Jedi versus the Sith if you're really into Star Wars. And what this story model does is it explores the courage and ingenuity, always, that word always gets me, of the hero willing to take that risk, willing to step up and say, this is not right. We have to do something about this. The second one is the rags to riches, and this is from crisis to success. The hero finds himself born into social expectation of servitude only to catch a lucky break and do a complete 180 spin from poverty to luxury. Some examples are Annie, Cinderella, the Ugly Duckling. And this explores the hero's ideals of self-worth as he finds independence and he breaks away from the status quo. The quest is about seeking and about finding. The hero hears wind of this treasure or valuable object, even knowledge, that promises to deliver salvation. Some examples are the Knights Templar and the Holy Grail, the Odyssey, the Goonies. The hero journeys into the unknown in order to fulfill his duty and to create a new identity. The voyage and the return, to explore and to discover. It's very similar to the quest, though with less purpose. The hero sets out to explore these new lands and distant concepts, and they're usually taken far off the original path by happenstance. Usually it is because they are accidentally basically thrust into this experience that is going to force them to mature, to evolve. And so some of the examples that I've given is Alice in Wonderland, Treasure Island, Pirates of the Caribbean. And the hero is accidentally thrust into adventure. He comes back less rigid and less inflexible. He comes back a little bit more go with the flow type of thing. Comedy, confusion to enlightenment. The hero learns that the sun does not revolve around him. He learns that there are forces outside greater than himself, and it's how he responds to these forces that shape his perceptions. Some examples are Much Ado About Nothing, which is a Shakespearean play, Anchorman, Wayne's World. The hero learns that the world is not exactly as he thought and that life doesn't go as planned. Very similar to comedy, it's when basically it's kind of the opposite and tragedy happens. It's the price, it's the consequence of bad decisions. Kind of like, I wish I could have told myself this, I wish I would have known this in the beginning, I would have avoided a lot of my mistakes type of thing. The hero learns, again, like in comedy, that the sun does not revolve around him. He learns there are forces outside himself that are greater, and it's how he responds to these forces that shape his perceptions. Some examples are Romeo and Juliet, Titanic, Schindler's List. The hero learns that the world is not exactly as he thought, and that life doesn't go as planned, and it's the antithesis of the overcoming the monster plot, in that the hero actually fails and is destroyed. Rebirth is about renewal and transformation. The hero undergoes a very traumatic experience and must make sense of his new reality. He is no longer the same and must adapt to his new environment. Some of the examples are Pinocchio, Artificial Intelligence, The Sixth Sense. The hero must grow and develop through painful and traumatic experiences. The silver lining is that the hero can never be what he once was and is forever changed. So all the plots of stories are mixtures of all of these 7 basic plots. The other type of blog posts are educating through blog posts. So educational blog posts are how-tos, checklists, resource lists, frequently asked questions, guides, case studies, Statistics. Top 10, top 7, top 5, top 3. Common mistakes. Glossary or definitions, series and sagas. Reviews. Deck reviews. Book reviews. Current affairs. Opinions. Controversial things. It's a big one. Myth busting. Predictions. Interviews. Influential people. Guest posts. Inspirational stories. Life lessons. What I tell my past self. What I tell my future self. And you can have blog posts that are storytelling and educational rolled into one. Use educational posts to your advantage by educating potential clients. Some topics to consider are: what is tarot? How does tarot work? Where did tarot come from? Who invented tarot? When is it necessary to receive a reading? Information about specific services or products with a call to action at the end to buy or book you. The types of readers, the types of oracles, the difference between self-development and prediction and fortune telling, and your thoughts about that. How does the client know when they need a reading? How often should clients have readings? What are great questions for tarot readings? What are not so great questions for tarot readings? What topics are taboo? The stories behind your ethics, so your life experiences, why you don't read on certain readings and maybe why you do read on certain readings. What types of questions does tarot answer and how? How does one pick a tarot reader? How does one prepare for a reading? How does one get the most out of their reading? And what happens after a tarot reading, and what are the clients and your responsibilities? So I've given you 4 different types of blog posts that you can use right away. You don't have to, these are just recommendations. I know that I start with these and I usually edit them and they end up turning usually more into more or less words, or, you know, it's really up to you. But these are just some basic recommendations just to get you started. It's a great starting place, and then from there, it's going to morph into your own unique work, your own unique creative genius. The 3-minute tip or trick is about 300 words or less with 2 or 3 actionable steps. The 5-minute turnaround is around 750 words, and there's some type of transformation that happens. It usually goes like, I thought it was this way, but now I see it was really this way. And you can use some type of story to back that up. The 7-minute story is around 1,500 words with about 2 or 3 pictures. And the saga or series is a 3 or 5 7-minute stories around a specific theme. Like I said, these are just recommendations to get you started. Feel free to tweak these however you see fit. Now, regarding blog post titles, we're going to start talking about the construction of blog posts now. The ideal length of a headline is about 6 words, with the emphasis on the first 3 and the last 3 words if it's over 6 words. A 6-word headline is actually not that easy to write, so the best advice I can give you is to channel your focus onto the first 3 and the last 3 words. Blog post text width. The perfect line length ranges between 40 and 55 characters per line. Basically, that means that when you're looking at a website and you're reading a blog post, the ideal text width is somewhere between 250 and 300 pixels wide. Now, if that's a little bit difficult to manage, so what I would do is I would take those pixels, that pixel amount, and scale it. So either 250 to 350, or 500 to 700, or 1,000 to 1,500. Does that make sense? If you need more help with that, let me know. Like I said, the ideals are cool and all, and they're great to aspire to, Do I follow them religiously? No. It's far more important to just get your content out there rather than trying to make them perfect. You can also go back and tweak them and edit them later. I do this all the time. Sometimes it's just about getting it done, and then over the course of the next few weeks, I'll go back and reread it and edit it and things like that. Try to aim for 1 to 2 blog posts per month. I'm just gonna sit straight up and say it. 2 blog posts per month are probably the best way to go. I see a consistent growth in my traffic when I get at least 2 blog posts out per month. When I only post 1 blog post per month, it's just my numbers go down significantly. So I highly recommend doing at least 2 per month. I've given you about 20 blog post prompts that specifically speak to potential clients. So I've basically given you the whole next year's worth of your blog posts. Go forth and write. Don't forget your call to action at the end of each blog post. Search engine optimization, also known as SEO. More important than a guide or a template, SEO is the most integral part of your blog post, and this is where lots of people will either see your post or barely anybody will see it. And this is where you truly need to focus. And the good news is that it is so easy with the tools that I'm about to give you and share with you. It's totally a no-brainer. And did I struggle with SEO for so long? I tried to make it so much more complicated than it was. And sometimes it really is about the tools that we use that make the biggest difference and make things easier for us. What is SEO? Without utilizing SEO, your blog is more or less a ghost ship adrift in the ocean of the internet. SEO is the guiding light that draws traffic to your blog or your website. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. By harnessing niche-specific phrases and words called keywords or tags, you drive traffic to your site. Every time a person uses a search engine like Google or Bing or Yahoo, they are typing in a specific keywords and tags and phrases in direct relation to what it is they're looking to find. So, for example, if you're selling tarot readings in Manhattan, New York, and someone types in tarot readers in Manhattan, New York, then hopefully you have, if you are a tarot reader in Manhattan, hopefully you have utilized the SEO for that, because it's going to help ping you a lot better and it'll help people to find you. When a user clicks the search button on any of these search engines, a crawler, it's a program, is initiated, and what it does is it's also sometimes called a spider, and it goes out and it combs the cataloged internet for relevant material to show to that user. And each search engine catalogs the internet in its own unique way. Why is Google the most popular? Because it has been around for quite a while, and it's a lot of people have submitted their content to it. I know, for example, when I look at Bing versus Google, when I use Bing, whenever I type in anything on Bing, it seems like I'm only uncovering maybe 40% of the known internet at that point. It's just because it's not as popular. So your search engine, your search results and stuff like that is going to be dependent upon which search engine that you're using. There's really nothing that we can do about this as professionals, other than submitting your website to all of the known search engines. So if you haven't already done so, and you have your blog, your website already up, you're going to want to go around and submit your blog post to all of the known, or not your blog post, but your website to all of the known search engines, and that's going to help increase your traffic. If one does not use or develop SEO, it's highly unlikely that a user will stumble across your content, and even if it's specifically targeted towards them. If you don't have your SEO, if you don't have any SEO, or if you don't have any SEO in place, then it's probably just not going to be a very popular site. It's always recommended that you at least use a couple keywords, at least 1 or 2, just so you can really get those pings when people are searching for that stuff. Without developing SEO, the people that will see your content are the people that you are sending your content to directly via like social media, through your newsletter. For example, an SEO is complicated, but a little bit of effort goes a long way. This is kind of like where everybody struggles, but I'm going to make it so easy for you. The goal of SEO is to drive cold traffic to your website based on your content's relevancy to its popular search engine tags, keywords, or phrases. The types of SEO traffic. The two main types are paid traffic and free traffic. Paid traffic comes through services like AdSense or Facebook ads, and free traffic comes through search engine optimization and social sharing. That can be split into warm traffic and cold traffic. Warm traffic is social media shares, so sharing your blog post to social media, newsletter updates, sending out blog posts via your CRM. Your direct traffic, a user inputs your website link, so like they already know you, they already know about you, they know your website and they're going there by, it's very intentional. Another type of warm traffic is referral traffic, which are guest blog posts and social share circles. That's why I have the Wednesday Share Your Brilliance social share circle. Try saying that 20 times fast. Because that is a really great way to drive traffic to your website in a way that doesn't cost money and doesn't cost a lot of your effort and time. Organic, also known as cold traffic. And this is the goal of SEO, to provide organic search engine-based traffic to cold audience who may have not heard of you before or are not yet in your inner circle. You may choose to purchase ads, or you may choose to allow your traffic to build on its own, or find a healthy balance between the two. No followers, no problem. I'm going to talk more about this actually in the social media strategy module that's coming up, but there are a couple ways that you can, there are a couple strategies that you can utilize right now to get your blog in front of larger audiences without having to have a lot of social media followers. The first way is to hashtag the hell out of your content when you do share it on social media channels. And you can use hashtagify.me to do this. Cross-post your blog on various platforms like Tumblr and Blogger. These platforms have a reader base already in them, and so it's a little bit different. It's like having a bunch of blogs in one place that you can search and find new content. You can also, kind of like how I told you to submit your reading services on those directories when I was talking about setting up your own website. I think that was like module maybe 7 or 8. You can submit your blog to various directories too, like Eaton Web, Jade, Best of the Web, and Blog Catalog, and all of these links are going to be given on the page, so don't worry about writing them down right now. You can also find blogs to promote and to send proposals to for guest contributions. You can use Feedly, which is personally my favorite, Blog11, InnoReader, which is another good one, Dig is good too, FeedSpot, and ComaFeed. Okay, so let's see an example. Okay, so I have given you a blog post template, and I'm going to go ahead and take the camera off because I want you to really be able to see what it is I'm doing here in its full view. You're going to receive this. This is already on the module page. It's a blog post template. You're going to start with your title, your headline, your introduction. What is this blog post going to teach / tell them? Teach and tell them your talking points. Recap and loop back around what you just told them. Close with a powerful quote or story, as well as a call to action, and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of this. And if you've never seen this before, this is the WordPress background, back end where you can do all of your blog posts. I'm just going to hit V to copy it all. Okay, so I'm going to clean this all up now. The title is about 6 words, as I said. Don't count words like a, I, me, you, your, our, we, us, she, her, him, his, it, they, them, their, like, as, for, to, with, that sort of thing. So here's my blog post title: 3 ways to feng shui your home office for prosperity. 3, that's one word. Ways, another word. Feng shui, another word. Home office, another word. Prosperity. So actually I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. 5 to 7 words depending on how you want to look at it. I don't want to put in that right now. I'm kind of testing out the 6 words or less titles, the analytics for that, just to kind of see what's going on with that. I'm going to give it a number 1 heading. Okay, so the next thing is to have a headline, an attention grabber. It's a thought provoker. The intention is to grab their attention. We're going to talk more about this when we talk about copywriting, but for right now, you want to start out with like some sort of question or some sort of very bold statement. And I think I'm going to put that as a heading 3. The introduction is to compare and contrast the pain of not knowing and the joy of them about to learn. When you think of your home office, what are the first few words that come to mind? Does your home office make you feel like a princess trapped in a tower, kept far away from manifesting your goals and dreams? Okay, so I've talked about the pain point. Or does your home office inspire you to sing in song while happily chipping away at your mountain of planned content? That would be the benefit. That would be the pleasure center of this blog post. So you always want to compare and contrast. Our environment has a direct consequence upon our motivation to take inspired action. It's no secret that consistent and purposeful productivity leads to prosperity. So I'm basically starting off with like what I want to talk about in this blog post. Think about it. If you're head over heels in love with your space, then chances are getting up and going to work in your home office every day is a joyful experience, and in that enthusiasm, it's easy to create. But if your space doesn't reflect joy, the energy or chi of your space is not conducive to your professional success. So I'm referring back to that question I originally asked. And getting your amazing offers and programs out into the universe is probably just not going to happen for you anytime soon. So here I've talked about the pain and pleasure again, but I've reversed it. I've put the emphasis on the pleasure. And that's just not going to serve anybody. We need your brilliance. We're counting on you to create. What is this blog post going to teach and tell them? Now's where you talk about your solution. What's the solution? And I'm going to stick that as a heading 4. And I'm going to bold it. The solution is, with a little bit of effort and some tweaking, this post is going to show you 3 simple ways, I'm reiterating the title, to improve, and that's my additional adjective, to improve the feng shui of your home office, to revive your creative juices so that you can get your content out, make a big impact, and move towards your gifts and talents to cultivate prosperity. So I'm talking about 3 simple ways to do this, but I'm also giving them 3 benefits of it as well. Now we're going to teach them. So my first talking point is to clear the clutter so that gifts can get to you. Money loves to have a place to go, but what happens when you have too much stuff? Maybe the money and new opportunities that are trying to get to you can't because you're currently surrounded by too much junk that is blocking money's path to you. Take a few days to explore every nook and cranny of your home office. As you move from drawer to closet to, hey, what's behind here? And how did that get here? It's okay to interject a little bit of personal dialogue because they're already probably coming to their own conclusions about what they're thinking and feeling right now. Ask yourself these questions. Have I used this in 6 months? If yes, find a place for it and keep it in plain view. If no, ask yourself if you can actively visualize a use for that item. If still no, put it in a bag or box to be donated or given away. It never fails. Okay, this is where you want to reiterate why you're telling them to do what they're doing. What is the positive result? It never fails. Every time I go through a big cleanse, I always manifest a ton of free stuff. The last time I did this was in the free Feng Shui Your Home Office for Prosperity 5-day series. Now, this part is basically the part of the funnel. I am going to be teaching you about funnels. So right now, this backlinking thing, that might be a little bit complicated for you. You don't have to do this right now. That's not the purpose of what I'm showing you how to do right now. This is going to make sense when I'm talking about the funnels. For right now, don't worry about this part. At the end of the series, I had gotten rid of a giant black trash bag full of items that I didn't need, and I manifested over $1,000 worth of stuff that I did need. And it was literally just handed to me. So I'm reiterating that it's simple. Remember up here, I said simple ways. It didn't take a lot of effort. It was literally just handed to me. No strings attached, just thanks for getting off your butt and moving your crap out of the way so we could gift you these amazing things that we know you need and would enjoy. Sincerely, the universe. And what I can do here is I can actually turn this into, let's see, let's go with a 3, and we're going to quote it. I hit this little guy right here, the black quote. You'll see what it looks like when I do the preview. I don't know how it works exactly, but I know it does work. Reiterate that what you're telling them to do is going to work. That's part of the magic. Okay, so I'm going to actually leave a little bit of space right there. And the next talking point I have is to say yes by arranging your desk in the power position. Position your desk, that should be desk, in a way that commands authority. Traditionally, this is done by placing the desk in the furthest left corner away from the door to limit distractions. Why left? I kind of want it to match up here. You see how I'm doing that and why I'm doing that? The furthest left corner, according to the Life Aspirations Feng Shui method, is the area associated with wealth and prosperity. And actually right here, I am going to, let's see, I'm actually going to go, well, I'll do that later. I'll backlink that later. That's not relevant for right now. But what I'm going to do is link my workshop that I have, my Feng Shui workshop I have. That's another way to backlink and build your funnel. It should also be noted that, I'm going to bold this so I don't forget to do that later. It should also be noted that while the desk is desirable the furthest away from the entrance of your office, the desk should also be positioned in such a way that when seated, your eyes face the entrance to the home office and not with your back turned towards the door. The idea behind facing the entrance to your home office or window, like I do if you prefer, is that you're signaling to the universe that you are available and open for opportunities to come knocking at your door. See diagram. Okay. Since this is obviously not a 300-word post, I am going to include a picture that I made in Canva. I wonder what I named it. Desk. I don't even know what that is. What did I name it? Okay, we'll have to go to Canva and check. Social media and title design. Okay, so here's what we're going to just do, I think. Try that again. Usually it lets me do it. I don't know why it's not letting me do it right now. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to print screen. Go to paint. I'm taking the long way out to do this, but that's okay. Crop it. Erase that. Save as. There we go. Alright. Make it a little bit bigger. What I'll have to do is I'll have to figure out what I named it on my computer and have to go back in here and deal with that. Okay, talking point 3. That's a heading 1, so this is going to be a heading 1 as well. The third point is set up an abundance altar to nurture your money mindset. Since most people associate altars to worship, let's be clear. We're not setting up an altar to worship the almighty dollar. That's a little bit of a controversy that you can throw in there. Controversy is good. Controversy gets you traffic. The abundance altar is the sacred space that is the vessel that holds all of your intentions surrounding money. Find a place that will not be disturbed and dedicate that space to become the vessel that holds all of your sacred tools that you use to draw prosperity and abundance to you. Okay, I've already used the word vessel, so let's use the word container. On my altar, I have stones like citrine, called the merchant stone, that is associated with drawing and maintaining wealth. I keep my money journal that's loaded with affirmations and a few books like Ask and It Is Given by Esther Hicks and A Happy Pocket Full of Money by David Cameron at my abundant altar as well. More than just worship, your abundance altar is the place to hold ritual to shift your money mindset and to align with the vibration of abundance. I highly recommend you dedicate at least 5 minutes per day, a few days per week, to nurturing your money mindset through the use of affirmations, journaling, and reading, and whatever else feels good to you. So now that I've done the talking points, we're going to recap on what we just told them. By committing to clear the clutter, arranging the furniture in your home office, and holding a dedicating time holding a time for ritual at your abundance altar, you will train your mind to shift from not having enough, pain point again, to having plenty, pleasure point. It's a process, and truly rooting out core limiting beliefs surrounding money and self-worth takes time. But with these effective yet simple, again, using the word simple, using the same adjective, first steps, you will be well on your way to not only changing your mindset surrounding wealth and prosperity, but you'll also have an effect on everyone else around you, and that's worth its weight in gold. Close with a powerful quote or story as well as a call to action. So here's the quote that I want to use. Let's do a heading 4. And now we're going to do the call to action. I'm actually going to leave a little bit of a space right there. Are you ready to seriously change how you view wealth and abundance for the better? Join me for the Feng Shui Your Home Office for Prosperity 5-day series. In this series, you will learn how to whoa. Your magical morning ritual. Spell a wealth attraction candle. Cleanse, clear, consecrate your space. Invoke your ideal client with Puppet Magic. Set up your abundance altar. Sometimes it's testy. Jeez. Whoops. Okay, and then this is heading 3, so we'll make this heading 5. And we'll make this, again, heading 3. So what do they have to look forward to? Well, they'll have new clients, speaking opportunities, new computers, office furniture, sold out bookings, free meals at high-end restaurants, free services from high-end providers, and more. And then here's the question. Now this part's a little bit advanced. You might not be here yet. That's okay if you're not, but this video is going to be really helpful when you are. And you'll probably come back to this. Okay, so how you do the HTML is go back in here, go all the way down at the bottom, and go break. What this does, break, is it just adds some enters. Okay. Whew. Alright, let's just take a look at it. Let's just see what it looks like. Let's see. First of all, what I'm going to do is, now this is just comes down to like your personal preference. I don't want comments, I don't want this, I don't want this. This is all going to be like in your theme. Don't want a featured image. I don't want the page title to show. Okay. Let's just see what it looks like. Oh, and save your drafts. Save them. And you'll notice that I typed all of my blog posts in Google Drive because it automatically saves. I've been through so many situations where I've sat here and wrote blog posts and then something happens, like my browser crashes or it doesn't save or something like that, and it is devastating. It's devastating. Okay, what I'm going to do, I don't really like the title on there. It's just a personal preference of mine. I'm going to change this back to heading 3. And I'm actually going to make this I'm going to center it. Let's try that again. Yeah, I like that. Is your home office set up for success, or are you sabotaging your money flow? Okay, I don't like this space right there, so I'm going to come back in here, get rid of that space, preview. I would really like for that to show up a little bit more, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a color that is really going to stand out. Let's try pink. Boom. I amuse myself sometimes. Okay. I'm actually going to quote this because I didn't know if it was going to actually quote or not. So since it's not, we're going to quote this too. We're going to also quote this. That looks better. I'll go in and fix that. I will fix this too. I plan on finding the original copy of that, the high quality, and then making it bigger. Okay. This part definitely needs some help. Okay, so we're going to go back in here. I think I'm just going to set this as a paragraph. I'm going to bold this. You know what? I'm just going to set this as paragraph too. I think it flows better. That just looks obnoxious to me. So we're going to try this. See what it looks like. Set this as pink and bold it, I think. I'll fix this script later. What I didn't like is that I've obviously got this on a 250 pixels. I'm gonna have to create another thing for that, but that's fine. I'll come back to that since it's not really relevant for right now. Okay, let's take a look here. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we're finally getting somewhere here. I will fix this part later. Okay, so let's move on to what you need to do now. So you're gonna want to set a featured image. I used the Canva. I used Canva to create it, and I used the Pinterest size photo for it. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute, why I chose to do it that way. Okay, so we need to first, okay, so my categories are on point. Okay, so tags. Okay, so you're going to go to keywordtool.io, and I'm going to type in feng shui and prosperity, because those are the two talking points that I really talk about. I'm going to grab this one, this one, that's a good one, business prosperity, career prosperity, correction, because I talk about the desk, prosperity and abundance, business, financial prosperity, at home. This will be a good one because I talk about home office. Okay, so how many do I have? 15. Let's aim for 20. 16, 17, 18. I'm going to take off the PDF part. 19, 20. Then copy to your clipboard or your clipboard, and then you're going to come over here to this keyword converter. You're going to type in all of these. I'm going to get rid of that. My separator is going to be a comma, and then I'm going to CR to CSV. See how it does that? Copy this, come over here, paste them in the tags. Whoops, why did it do it like that? No, I shouldn't have done it like that. Oh, okay. I got it. I got what I did wrong. Okay, so make sure there's a space afterwards here. Very important. Make sure it's a comma and then a space. Okay, I didn't miss that. Otherwise, it'll just be one long word. One long keyword. There we go. See, now they're all individual. Now, from there, I'm going to pick the ones that I feel most relevantly discuss what it is that I'm talking about here in this blog post. This can take a little bit of tweaking, so you might come in here and just see what keywords are really, especially if you have SEO. This is Yoast. This plugin is called Yoast SEO. If you have WordPress, it's really great. I'm going to do feng shui prosperity tips. Feng shui prosperity feng shui for prosperity in business. Feng shui. No, not career. I didn't say career. Let's say for wealth. The focus keyword doesn't appear in the first paragraph of the copy. Make sure the topic is clear immediately. We're going to get rid of this. Okay, that looks better. That's going to be good enough. All right. Cool. Okay, so let's publish. The next thing I always do is I come over to bit.ly. I grab the bit.ly is awesome because it shortens the link. There's psychology behind shorter links get more clicks. Whoops. Oh, here it is. Shorter links get more clicks, and also I love bit links because then you can track the analytics of how many people click. Like, for example, you see 12 people click that, 9. It's really great to see like what you can also do top performing, so you can like see like the Make Tarot Your Business Masterclass. That was like, I've got 30 clicks off of my bit link for that, etc. Now, say we're coming over here to Facebook. And I'm going to come over to my business page. Now, if I could just post this as it is, I could just post this bit.ly link. And that, or, darn it. Hi, Freya. Copy. Here we go. Everybody's talking about that door and virtue thing. Are you going to make me redo this? Facebook is so testy sometimes. Okay, there we go. I could just post this, and that would be totally cool. But if you want to take it to the next level and you want to be able to have people actually find it that are not fans of your page, what I like to do is I like to take my first initial question. Actually, we're going to go like this. We're actually going to do it this way. Click to read more about how, click to read more about 3 simple ways to sway your home office for prosperity. And then down here, I'm going to come over to hashtagify me. I'm going to type in feng shui. Okay, some really good words that are popular, trending right now that I want to utilize are feng shui, law of attraction, energy maybe might be a good one. So feng shui, law of attraction, energy, and then so my 2 things are or my 3 things are feng shui. So I've got the feng shui one done, home office, and probably entrepreneur, work from home. See if we can find some other good ones. Entrepreneur. Let's see what's trending around that right now. Success, social media. Success. Okay, so let's hit up success. And then prosperity. We're going to do a keyword for prosperity. Where is it? There's a lot of effort involved in writing blogs, isn't there? If you want to do it right. Okay, abundance, money, wealth would all be good. Abundance, money, wealth. Abundance, money, wealth. Okay, that's probably good enough. It's probably good enough. Okay, I'm going to go to publish. And then you'll probably see it if you like my Facebook page. And then I can go through and feng shui your home office for prosperity. And then what you can do is you can do an ad on it. We're not going to talk about ads right now. We're going to talk about that when we do funnels. Oh, I didn't talk about this either. Okay, so this is something we can do as well. I will include this. Hey, Bella. That's my kitty. Okay, so this is a really great thing that you can do as well. If you want to start building up your Twitter, okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to come over here. 3 ways to feng shui your home office. See what I'm doing here? For prosperity. At Tarot Biz Mentor, that's me. Grab your bit.ly link. Track stats. I have 21 characters left. Abundance. No. going to make me do it all over again because I timed out. Okay. So, 3 ways to feng shui your home office for prosperity. Wealth, abundance at Tarot Biz Mentor. That's me at Billy Link. Okale dokale. So this is what we're going to do is copy this. Can I do it like this? You know what I might have to do? We're going to do HTML to actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to cheat. We're going to cheat. How did I do this last time? Dang it. Copy code. Okay, we're just going to cheat this way. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's see if that did it. There. So when I click this link, it automatically takes me here and I can share it via Twitter. And that is how you do a blog post. It takes a little bit of time, it takes a little bit of energy, some strategy, but that's how you do a really, really good, solid blog post that is going to help you build on your funnel. Now, you don't have to do the click to tweet, you don't have to do the call to action at the end exactly like I did it, as long as you have a very basic call to action at the end where maybe it's just like a link to your store to book a reading. That's totally cool. I hope this wasn't too complicated. I hope this helped a lot of you, and I'm just so thankful for you for sticking with me and joining me on this. If you have any questions, let me know.